Oh crap, we're live. I didn't really plan for this that well.
You didn't, but it happens.
Nah, yeah. Alright, so...
It's the beginning of greatness.
I guess so. I guess this is how, like, all awesome things start. Is this, like, posted yet?
It's just there.
It's just there? It's just sitting there. Let's see if we can get some, like...
Just know every great thing starts with a little bit of awkwardness and probably a little bit of suckiness, but...
yeah, so it's pretty much like a middle school dance, in essence.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know about your middle school
Except
dance.
that
My middle school dance is...
Scarily, I think I'm actually closer to you right now than I was at any middle school dance.
You can't see it, but I'm definitely fondling your knee.
Well, that probably explains why I'm sitting down.
Good call. Alright, so oh, yeah, crap, we're live. But here's the thing, since we're live, like, it's... Look at this.
Apparently...
Somebody come over here and look at this.
Looking at this laptop, it seems that we're not the right direction.
No, we're, like, completely twisted.
And also, it doesn't
I feel like Designer performing Panda at a random concert.
You mean drunk and puking?
Pretty much. Did you see that video?
I did.
That's pretty nuts.
It was. He's only 18 though, so he probably shouldn't be drinking. Because
yeah.
nobody who's 18 ever drinks.
Never. Not even at college parks.
And if they do, they end up puking just like Panda.
Pretty much. Skirt. Alright, hold on. You're live. We're building an audience for you. Is that the truth, Facebook? Are you really building an audience for us? Are you really? Oh, that's a crotch shot. Sorry, guys. I'm a little underwhelming right now.
Sounds like
a Saturday night. All right. So yeah, this is live. All right, cool. All right, so I should. It's awkward seeing that delay.
It is.
It's a little disconcerting, but at the same time. All right, so let me share it on my feed. Hello. Share. Share on page manager. No, share on your timeline. The inaugural. I can't spell. Inaugural. T is silent. According to title capitalization.com, it should be capitalized, but
I can't believe there's a capitalization.com.
There is a title capitalization.com. I use it in my job every day. It's wonderful. Wonderful tool. Inaugural T is silent podcast is live. Should I say live or just live?
Please say live.
I'm just going to say live. Which is live.
I just want to mention that this is not 2006.
You're right, because the Wizards are actually...
no, they're actually right about the same position as
great
they were in 2006.
team chemistry, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
There's no bickering and beefing
at least
about
there's
finances.
nobody taking a poop in Andre Blatch's shoes. Or let me rephrase that, John Wall's not going number 2 in Jan Mahimi's shoes.
We're talking Eastern Conference futures, win, totals, and we'll touch on other hoops topics.
Everybody say hi to John Wall.
As well.
Is this really John Wall?
So this is now...
Does this look like John Wall?
Live on mine.
It doesn't look like John Wall.
For better or worse, this is live on mine now. I'm guessing worse.
Here's where you're going to have to take it or leave it.
Yeah, pretty much. You going to do the same thing on yours, or do you not want your family to see?
I think my family will be okay.
Hey, so I'm going to send you a text message on the sly. You ready for this? This is like real life something.
That's a great description.
Yeah, I'm a master of words.
Yeah, you are. It's almost like you should do it for a living.
Yeah.
Except, better.
Actually, I don't even have to send this to you. You can just read it.
say no.
Okay, cool. So you would not officially, you officially don't find any Kardashians attractive. That was a text, guys. I'm just catch out of the bag.
And the response was absolutely not.
Really?
It was.
Not even Caitlyn?
Who's that? Oh wait, never mind.
Boom. Alright, this is cool. So, alright, so the whole thing is you're saying the organic process of us developing an audio podcast, but we figured we'd let you guys in on the fun and see how this is so professionally done and, you know,
The
kind of roll
truth
with
is,
it. We're here to have fun. It's a
why
Sunday.
listen if you can see us?
Exactly.
It's a no-brainer.
Exactly.
Even though for the last 10 minutes we've been just...
We pretty much like burned through 10 minutes of your time. It's time that you're not going to get back.
Mm-hmm. Just know.
But, you know what? You're not here to hear us like ramble and rant. You're here
Actually, Justin...
Okay, they are here to hear us ramble and rant.
If they are looking at us right
but they're
now,
not here
they
to
are here
let us... They don't want us to ramble and rant about like old college experiences and Kardashians and Nolan Carroll being hurt and a Viagra commercial on the Redskins game.
Hopefully
They came to hear us talk about hoops.
They did.
I am going to hit record. So we're going to start this little bad boy at a later time. Oh, yeah. Before I hit record, it's awkward to like be kind of streaming that. I would invite friends. You invite friends. I'll invite friends.
No,
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, obviously, this is going to be done, like, after the fact, but what were you thinking would be, like, a good, like, instrumental to kind of get people hyped up about audio podcast version of this?
I mean, I guess the thing is, what music, what song really encapsulates, if that's a word, no fact-checking.
It is a word.
Encapsulates who we are and what this podcast
Party
is
in the
all
USA,
about.
Miley Cyrus.
I don't know.
No.
It doesn't speak to me. It doesn't speak to me. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's not a good song, and who doesn't like to party in the USA?
What about Shook Ones? Because I'm actually kind of nervous right now. That would be appropriate.
That would be appropriate.
Yeah, Shook Ones is good. Shook Ones. I think the one person watching is me, by the way.
Hey.
Or it could be you.
It was me.
Maybe it's Tiff. Tiff, are you watching?
No.
Okay. Jeez, where's the support?
I know. Can't even get familial support.
Familial.
Familial, yes.
All right,
I'm
so
busting out the A-type words today.
All right. I'm gonna hit record, and we're gonna like I guess start this, right?
You go get him, Slugger.
All right. And I guess we already did. Like, fuck, that's not good. All right, ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Welcome to the T is Silent inaugural podcast. We're here. It's live. It's awesome so far. I sound like Donald Trump.
It's the best ever.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
We're going to talk about a big wall. Eventually. You like that? That was
I do.
Clever.
I actually like
that.
That's pretty clever.
But I'm here with, my name's Justin Cherot, by the way, of the T is Silent. And it's called the T is Silent because when pronouncing my name, it's not Cherot, it is Cherot because...
It's French.
No, because the T is silent. I messed that up.
Oh, well.
That's okay.
I mean, I thought it was because it's French. But
Cool. So I'm sitting
He's
here...
He's not French, but yeah.
It's a long story. Somebody's cousin did something, and what do you know? Here I am.
He's actually, 10 generations removed from Marie Antoinette.
It's a good thing we're not fact-checking. We're not doing any fact checks at this point, so yeah, we'll just let it ride.
We'll throw it out there and see what works.
Look, it's my website, but, every now and then you need a little help from your friends. And I've known this dude for about, how long has it been now?
It's about a solid 15 years.
Solid 15 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Hak. Think about this as, Cousin Sal. You know Cousin Sal. He does those like betting parlay things. except for...
I use shea butter.
He used shea
on my
butter.
hair, and actually cocoa butter on my skin.
I don't think Cousin Sal does that currently.
Probably not. He should. If he used shea butter, then honestly his hair would be way more lush and probably a little more juicy too. But, you know, hey, everybody doesn't know. Everybody doesn't have wives who can really hook them up with all that good product.
Yeah. I feel like you just dissed Cousin Sal's wife. Good thing he's not watching this.
It is what it is.
So, the reason we're here today is because, we're basketball heads. We're hoop heads. We love our NBA hoops, particularly. I mean, I like college hoops too, but something about the NBA because it's just the most talented.
College hoops is sloppy, son.
It is sloppy. It's hard to watch. It's like watching grass grow sometimes, especially with like a Wisconsin or a Pitt. Oh man, that was. Remember that game?
I did.
During the tournament. Ah man, that was awful. Well, I think it was like,
if you want to see two teams shoot 35% and have a total of 45 turnovers,
come out to one of our games on Tuesday.
Then it'd be probably shooting 15%
for background.
About 50 turnovers.
Hak and I play in a a little over 30 league where we.
That's right, over 30.
Yeah, I know. Look at my face.
Do we look
like we look like we're shooting this from our college dorm room?
I know. And
yeah.
It literally looks like we are.
We're shooting this from a very illustrious house. We can't show you the house because it's not really a house. We're a little limited.
It's not really a house.
Shh.
We're actually.
It's a mansion. It's a mansion.
Honestly, I was thinking it was a box.
Well, this is a pretty expansive box.
I mean, just because it's a box doesn't mean that it can't be expansive. Just saying. To make assumptions here.
It's an expensive box.
Yes.
So anyway, every year before the season, Las Vegas does these little win total over-unders to, I guess the object is for the bettor with an O.
It feels legal in places.
It does feel legal. If gambling was legal, a bettor could wager on whether or not, say for instance, the Warriors win. I think that over-under is like what, 65.5.
65.5.
That's a tough number. Well, we're not going to talk about that today. We're only going to talk about the Eastern Conference. But basically, the idea is that
you bet $20 on, let's say the Warriors are going to go over 65.5, and if they win,
you get $20. You get a 100% return on your investment because there's no minus 110 there, so you don't have to wager 110 to win 100.
That's too deep.
Yeah, I used to work for a company that used to specialize in these types of things. I have been advised by my lawyer not to say any more about this said company. But anyway, I bring with me a certain expertise when it comes to this stuff. So we are going to break down the Eastern Conference from the bottom to the top in pure Drake fashion. So
I'm not sure what Drake song he's talking about.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, but he doesn't say from the bottom to the top. I don't think that'd be a hit song.
Actually, that's a Lupe song. That's a Lupe song off of his first and Fahrenheit 115 mixtape.
Exactly.
Ooh, throwing that out there with
it wasn't food and liquor.
Increasing my hip hop ethos because I know I got that audience on lockstone.
He doesn't.
I'm trying every day though. Trying every day. So anyway, we're down to one. And that's awesome because
you just lost a viewer.
You know, we just lost a viewer. But don't worry, guys. If you're not tuning in live, this is going to live organically, for better or worse, on Facebook. And I think we just lost our entire audience, but it's gonna live forever on Facebook. So I think we've been talking a little bit too much.
So let's actually get to
the nuts and bolts. Yeah.
So, Justin.
All right. So let's start it off with. Oh, by the way, these odds were from exactly 2 days ago from oddshark.com. And we are going to start from the bottom of the East, work our way up, and kind of go from there. According to Vegas, not necessarily how I think they're going to finish. If you want to see how they're going to finish, I suggest you go to the-t-is-silent.com. Check out my ongoing player previews, and you'll see where I think the teams are going to finish.
So let's get into it.
But we'll start with the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets. It still seems weird, even 3-4 years later, that they're the Brooklyn Nets. It's just whatever. I mean, they're in Brooklyn. And they are New York's other team, even though they've had I guess in that time frame, more success. Cool. Yeah, it is a cool arena, but they have had more success in that time frame than the Knicks, who I guess haven't been relevant in a while. But we'll get to them in a minute. Over under for the Brooklyn Nets is 20.5. Hak, where would you go? Over or under 20.5?
Definitely under. I think
you think under?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they have two real live NBA players. Maybe 2.5. Well, I'll count Rondae Hollis Jefferson in that. So Jeremy Lin, he very well might average 20 points, but it's going to be on about 20 shots. Brook Lopez is a good offensive player, but his defense is about as great as my grandmother's. By the way, who is not alive.
Wow.
I'm just saying. There's a reason why they won so few games last year.
Jeez. All right. That's hard to follow. Brook Lopez. I would argue that they actually have one NBA starter on their entire roster. I wouldn't even consider Jeremy Lin a starter. He's more of like a good combo guard. Great third guard, like an elite third guard.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I disagree about him having to take 20 shots to get his 20 points. I think he's going to be a little bit more efficient than that. I think it's reasonable to assume that he can go 45, 50, did I say 40? 45, 40, 80, around there. As shooting splits.
That dude can't shoot. He's going. So
he's okay.
Saying
all right.
He's 40% for a three-point line.
He's been working on his game.
You say
he isn't going to get a lot of open looks though. That's a good call.
The fact is, he's going to. I mean, if he has a good year, then he's going to be at 35%, about league average, and hopefully he's going to be about 43 to 45% from the field goal.
That's about.
And if he's doing pretty well, then he's doing okay. But
I said he'd average about 18-7. 18-7 and like 4 or 5, something like that. Because he's gonna have plenty of opportunity. It's not like he's only gonna split time with Kemba Walker this year. And we'll talk about that a little later. I think that's a little bit bigger loss than people are letting on. But anywho,
all right.
So next on the list is the Philadelphia 76ers. Man, I was really jacked up about them a couple weeks ago.
Why?
But then, well, I mean, jacked up in terms of they're going to win more than 10 games.
Okay,
and you know, it finally feels like Philadelphia has something. They have a lot of redundant pieces, but they have.
What's the over under? Their over under
is 24.5.
So were you actually thinking of the over?
No, not anymore. Not anymore since Ben Simmons got hurt.
Honestly, even with Ben Simmons, I don't think they would have.
I put it like this. I think they come a lot closer to that number with Ben Simmons than without Ben Simmons. That number is probably going to go down in the next couple days. So, like, if you want to grab it now, that would be my suggestion to grab it, take the under.
It's a no-brainer.
It's pretty much a no-brainer. Unless Joel Embiid. What just happened? We're going to have to edit that in the audio later, but that's part of this whole process.
So on Joel Embiid, have you seen him play this year?
I have seen the highlights. I know the highlights are only a small sample size of what he can do, but to me, he looks like a skilled big man. He's going to have some growing pains because he hasn't played basketball in like 2 years.
So I'll say this. This dude is legit.
Yeah.
I will say, but I don't think he's going to play more than 20-25 minutes. I think they're bringing him along slowly, but even and once again, we're not fact checking here, but I know that in like the 40 or 50 minutes he's played in the preseason, he's been his per 36 minute splits is like 26 points a game. It's like 26, 11, and 7. So when he's been on the court, he's like a monster.
And, per 36, they're not an end all, but they are a good indication of what someone can do if they get the proper amount of playing time. If Embiid struggles, the good news is they have 2 other NBA caliber centers. One of them's got to go. I think
if you can combine the two,
of them, they'd be perfect. I mean, Okafor can't guard. Noel can't for
play
right
offense.
Now is struggling on the offensive end. Has struggled on the offensive end throughout his entire career.
So who goes first?
I actually think Noel has more value.
I agree.
Around the league.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they will try to get rid of Okafor first.
I think that
especially when he ended up on like TMZ like twice last year.
Yeah. I think
within a week.
The fact is if Okafor is not a modern NBA center or power forward. He's kind of like an Al Jefferson. So he doesn't play defense. He's got some offensive game, but he's a little bit of a black hole. Mm-hmm. And like you said, he's
black hole and light skin body.
Yeah, that's not a good look. And
Edit.
At the end of the day, he also was punching people at bars and doing all sorts of other stuff too. So I wouldn't even why waste the time.
And I guess on top of that too, another reason why I'm not as leery to go with the over or even touch the over is their guard rotation. And their guard rotation even took a hit because Jared Bayless is going to be out for a while. So now I guess their starting guards are Sergio Rodriguez. Nick Stauskas is going to get minutes.
Honestly, I'm not even sure if he's going to get minutes.
Gerald Henderson, solid.
He plays.
Yeah.
Didn't we just say I saw Nick Stauskas at Summer League?
Yeah.
And he sucked. Summer League.
Yeah.
He was bad.
I'm also kind of curious to see how Dario Saric fits into all this. Again, it's kind of redundant up there because he's got you've got Okafor, you've got Noel, you've got Simmons when he comes back. So what are you gonna do? Play all four of them at the same time? No.
Honestly,
I didn't even mention.
Really, what I would like to see is for Orlando and the 76ers to have a full starting lineup of power forwards or centers and go head to head and see who wins.
That would be pretty non-watchable.
It would.
Entertainment.
It would, but it'd be interesting in theory.
All right, so Vegas is kind of on to this next team. I kind of indicated that the next team is going to be pretty bad, or they could prove me wrong. The Miami Heat, their projected over under is 34.5.
Oh, I think that's really about right because I don't think Pat Riley and Spoelstra will let them actually tank. They should, but they won't.
I don't even think it's a matter of letting them tank. Like I really don't like the pieces. I think they're too redundant in the backcourt. They've got Tyler Johnson, Josh Richardson, and Deion Waiters, who pretty much more or less
they're all combo guards.
They are all combo guards. I guess Richardson and Tyler Johnson are a little bit more efficient than Deion Waiters. Does Deion Waiters have the most upside as their starting two?
I think at this point the upside thing with Deion Waiters is kind of gone.
And look at it like this: they signed Tyler Johnson for 4 years, $50 million, right? Deion Waiters, 1 year, $2.9 million. In a year where everybody's getting paid.
Ugh.
Everybody's getting paid. He should fire his agent. He rejected the qualifying offer from the Thunder. How do you do that?
That's how Russell Westbrook got paid.
It just it's ridiculous.
I think it's safe to say Deion Waiters probably has an unrealistic thought process of his own abilities.
Yeah, that irrational confidence.
Yes, irrational confidence. But he does do a great jump clap when he wants the ball.
Yeah, great jump clap. He's awesome at those step back 20-footers that have like no value. Hardest shot in the game, but he's okay at those.
He'll hit one out of four.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily a good percentage.
Yeah,
he'll hit 1 out of 4.
He said, "I'm not even gonna study the new analytic trends. I'm just gonna do what I do."
He's gonna say, "I'll do me.
I'm gonna do me.
I'm gonna let Deion be Deion."
Also, what the hell with Goran Dragic? I mean, we're sitting here talking about the Heat for like a solid couple minutes, and we haven't even mentioned Goran Dragic.
I wonder what happened. Like that Phoenix team was so fun about 3-4 years ago, and suddenly
Dragic, and he was so efficient.
He was efficient. He was 13 all NBA. He was dropping 30, 40 on people, and then next thing you know, they trade him to Miami. Grant, I'll say this. Dragic and Wade had a lot of overlapping skills, and Dragic is somebody who needs the ball in his hands to be able to create and to be able to make things work. And maybe because he's now 2-3 years removed from really being able to have that sort of autonomy in the offense, maybe that's where he's falling off. I don't know, but either way, he's no longer as good. I think last year he was averaging like 14 or 15 a game.
I think he's still. It'll be interesting to see, without Wade, he'll have a little bit more control over the offense. But You gotta think. I mean, we're not fact checking, but I am pretty sure he is on the wrong. Very. Is he 30 yet?
I'm pretty sure he's over 30.
Yeah. So I mean, look at us. We're on the wrong side of 30, and I already feel like my life's over.
Realistically, if you look at these faces, then you know we're on the right side of 30.
That's true. I mean, we'll always be on the right side of 30. When I'm 39, I'm gonna just say I'm 39 for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get away with it. Actually, no, they'll probably think, no, you're 21, get out of here.
They'll probably just think he's a creep.
Next in line, the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, yeah, Heat, by the way. Over, under?
I'll say under.
I'm going to say under, and it's probably a good value. I think they're going to be a good 4 or 5 games under that mark.
I think they're going to get some surprise wins, and at the end of the day, there's also the possibility that Hassan Whiteside actually transfers his stats into meaningful winning plays.
We'll see.
Now, if it doesn't happen, if he's just a 20-10 guy who just gets 20-10 and with no sort of substance to it, then
20-10 garbage time.
Oh yeah, it's 20-10 garbage time. But I mean, if you watch him play, he's a handful. But yeah, under.
Next on the list, Milwaukee Bucks, 34.5. I will, as a spoiler alert, they are my first team out of the playoffs. But we'll get.
Now they are.
And
that's without Middleton.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, they're way out without Middleton.
Well, go ahead, you first.
Well, I mean, look, this is my thought: is that low key, Chris Middleton was their best player. I'm not saying Giannis doesn't have the best potential, and he obviously would be the best player this year because Middleton's hurt. But Chris Middleton was their best defender, by far their best shooter.
Yeah.
So, and the whole offense revolved around him. Giannis, for all his capabilities, who is a decent passer, he's a handful on the offensive end, but he's just, at this point in his development, he's not as good as, in the totality of basketball, as Chris Middleton. And they just lost him for, 3 months at least?
Yeah.
So, with the hamstring, so...
I read somewhere, like, it could be 6 months. But, hey. But no, I actually, for as crazy as it is, I was just going to say, like, Michael Carter Williams trade to Milwaukee didn't work out. Now he's gone from Milwaukee.
He is.
Chris Middleton's hurt. They still don't know what they really have in Jabari Parker.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to use Greg Monroe.
They're not even going to start him.
Exactly. They don't know how to use him.
They're paying
him
$20 million to be for a 6-man. A big 6-man.
But I think their potential as to why they're the last team out really speaks to, I think Giannis is going to take a big step this year. Point Giannis.
Well, first of all...
Point Giannis!
It's pronounced Giannis. First off...
that was just my...
It's okay.
That was just my ignorant, American...
He says this,
Giannis.
but does he really mean it? So anyway...
Pronounce his last name.
I can't. Antetokounmpo.
I have an easier time with Antetokounmpo than I do...
But, it's not Boo. It's not Boo.
Bo.
It's not Boo. Antetokounmpo. Thanks, Justin. Thanks. So anyway...
Krzyzewski.
Okay. So... with Giannis, I actually think that I do believe this is the year he has a very good shot at being an all-star.
Oh yeah.
But that team is just weird to me. Like honestly,
The team is weird.
I can't think of who their guards are. Now that they traded MCW, who's going to run? We know Giannis is running point,
yeah.
but who's their backup point? And I have no idea who their shooting guards are. Exactly. I'm not saying we know everything about basketball, but that's pretty bad. So,
it's bad when you have to Google their starting guards, though. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Tony Snell is going to be their starting 2 guard now because they just flipped Carter Williams for Tony Snell.
That's true. So
short term, yes, it's going to be.
So short term, they're going to be starting Tony Snell.
What was that?
I'm sorry. I was sleeping. I fell asleep because Tony Snell bored me.
Yo, come on. How we forget about Matty Deli?
Oh yeah, true.
He'll get some minutes. I mean, he'll get some run. I forgot about Beasley. We talk about all these redundant forwards, I mean, here's John Henson. They just paid John Henson last year.
They did.
Not to mention that Don.
So honestly, we could add the Bucks to our all power forward center tournament along with the Orlando Magic and Philadelphia 76ers.
And poor Miles Plumlee. R.I.P. Miles Plumlee.
Yeah.
You're gonna be stuck on that bench for a while, pal. All right, so
I like his beard though.
That beard though.
I'm a big fan. Beard fan.
You're probably a beer fan too. Magic, 37.5.
Definitely under.
You think?
Absolutely.
Why?
Alfred Payton, maybe he can shoot. Maybe he can't.
No, he can't.
But honestly, he hasn't. I haven't seen lots of progress from him. Let's see, who's their starting two guard? That's probably Fournier, Evan Fournier.
Oh yeah. Not probably, he is.
Then they're going to be starting Gordon at the 3, and then I'm assuming Ibaka at the 4.
Gordon
and
at the 3 thing is just
at
weird.
The 5.
Gordon at the 3 thing is weird. I mean, I know he could shoot. I know he could probably handle the ball a little bit better than what we've been exposed to.
You say he can. It's kind of shoot. He can shoot for a 4. He definitely can't shoot for a 3.
Yeah, he's got to work on his ball handling a little bit too. That's definitely a question mark in my mind. But I do think in a little bit. God, I'm supposed to be this great writer, right?
I will say that defensively, they're probably going to be real difficult to stay against.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
even without Oladipo, who was a really good defender.
Yeah, but Payton's a good defender. We'll skip over Fournier, but Payton's a good defender. I think Gordon will be able to guard the 3s.
Yeah.
You got Ibaka, who we all know has all defensive potential.
Plus, he's a good corner 3 guy.
Yeah. You kick Vujicic at the lineup, and you put Bismack up in there at the 5, and suddenly you have an extremely long, athletic.
I can see Vucevic getting traded.
I can too.
Yeah, I mean, but theoretically, I think he probably is the best, most consistent offensive presence.
I think he's by far probably their best offensive presence.
And I think Fournier will take a little bit of a step forward without Oladipo.
I actually like Fournier.
I
actually like him, but
offensively,
sadly, I just don't. I don't know where else they're going to get their offense from. I mean, you got Vujicic, who is a negative on the defensive end. Sure. He's a plus on the offensive end, and same thing with Fournier. And
Bismack's the exact opposite.
Exactly. And you're rocking with a negative at point in terms of offensively and a plus on defense. Then at the 2 guard, you have a plus on offense and a negative on D. And then we'll say Gordon, we don't really know what he's going to look like right now, especially playing the 3. But we'll just say he's a plus on D. And we'll just say even on offense. But I just don't know if they're going to be as... I don't know how those pieces fit together. I think they'll be great defensively, but...
That win total to me is almost like a push. I think they're going to win somewhere like 37, 38 games. That's probably... Vegas is smart on that one. They're probably right where they need to be. Now, the Bulls at 38.5, that's a little bit tougher. What do you think?
They could either end up at 44 wins or 34 wins. Once again, this is another team similar in a different way to the Magic that just is a weird fit. How do you have your starting guards at Rondo, Wade, and we'll include Butler in that? I think combined they made 100 3-pointers. And Steph made over 400. Over 400. So tell me, do you think the Bulls as a team will hit more threes than Steph Curry as one person?
See, here's the thing. I think the amount of Steph's threes are going to organically go down because he's got Kevin Durant with him.
True.
I still think he probably hits over 300.
I agree.
So
the Bulls
I guess
300.
To answer your question...
Because basically means, do you think Mirotic...
Mirotic could put into a game.
Creighton.
Doug McDermott. Doug McDermott could put in 1.5 a game. You assume Butler gets 1 a game.
Right, maybe. Okay.
Wade.
He actually took less last year, though. Wade's going to have about 40.
It's going to be close, but I think Curry makes more threes than the Bulls.
Nah, I take that prop bet.
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting one, but it's probably going to be closer than you think. Because I bet you Wade, as he's declining in age, as he's advancing in age and declining in skill, he's probably going to settle for more jumpers, in my opinion.
If he shoots like he did during the playoffs, but I think that at this point he's 34 years old. We would have seen the improved three-pointer if he had it. I mean, at 34 years old,
you kind of are who you are.
You kind of are who you are. I mean, he does have a nice little old man game. He's got the step back. He's got the step through. He's got the up and under. He's got the little Euro step, which he's always had. But the three-point shot.
And that's why it's going to be important for McDermott and for Mirotic to get like those big minutes, some of those big minutes down the stretch, because they're going to need to stretch the floor. Isaiah Cannon. The acquisition of Michael Carter-Williams probably puts them in the running for the worst three-point shooting backcourt of all time. We'll
just say of the last 15 years.
In the modern NBA era.
In the modern NBA era. And back in the 80s when they first had it, it's pretty bad.
You're going to see a lot of teams play zone against the Bulls.
They truly might be the easiest team to guard.
But with all that said, I think they are the last playoff team in the East. I think they're going to win anywhere between, like I said, 34 and 44 is kind of a wide range, but I think they win closer to 40 to 44. That said, I will put them over that number.
I would probably say with their overall basketball IQ, they're probably going to be at about 40 wins.
They'll figure it out.
I think 44 is pushing it, considering they won 42 last year.
I like how Dwayne Wade said that they're probably not going to win a title this year. I wouldn't have probably openly said that.
That's called being realistic.
But at least he's honest.
Look, at least he's honest. He as somebody who's won a title before, I think he realizes the difference between having LeBron James and Chris Bosh next to you and Rajon Rondo and Jimmy Butler.
Let's talk about the Knicks a little bit.
Knicks?
How about those Knicks? If I'm a New York Knicks fan, I'm cautiously optimistic about this season.
So, speaking of New York Knicks fans...
And by the way, that over-under total is 38.5. Let's touch on that first. I think I know where you're going.
So, question. Who has the most annoying fan base? The New York Knicks, the LA Lakers, or the Chicago Bulls? I could probably throw the Boston Celtics in there too, but we'll just go with those three.
That has more to do with demographic, but anyway,
it does. We're not going to say what.
We're not going to come out and say
what, but
say it. But I think the Lakers fans are a little bit more irrationally confident about their franchise. They're a little bit more annoying. Knicks fans have been through like pretty much death. I mean, they haven't had a relevant team since Linsanity. Am I correct?
And that wasn't even a team that made the playoffs.
they made the playoffs.
No, the year before. Because Carmelo was hurt that year of Linsanity.
No, but Linsanity carried them to the playoffs. Carmelo came... Yeah. Fact check that.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Linsanity, in a way, carried them into the playoffs. Then when Carmelo came back...
And then Jeremy Lin got hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah, and then it was just really awkward. It would have been awkward anyway if Lin was healthy, but... I guess to my point, like the Knicks fans they've been starving for a good team. Lakers fans always think they're going to get... Oh, here we go. I think that's your little bro. What's your little bro said? Oh, he just joined. And Greg said something. Really, and not have me? Really? We would have had to call in, dog.
So
Anyway, we're getting distracted by but I'm actually happy that people are here.
So let me just say, the Knicks are to me, the Lakers are probably the worst fan base in terms of just irrational fandom.
Yeah, fandom.
Just fandom. In the last 2 years, I've heard that the Lakers are going to get Paul George.
I think they can get everybody.
DeMarcus Cousins. I think I heard a John Wall rumor. That's John Wall. They truly think they're going to get every single top free agent. I think there's a rumor about Blake Griffin out there too.
Don't worry, guys. They got Timothy Mozgov though.
Luol Deng.
I'm sorry.
So
and Deng, yeah,
most irrational fandom. But as a Wizards season ticket holder and going to games, let me just say the New York Knickerbockers have the most obnoxious fans of all time. Let me just say,
game other than drink.
I sell every single New York Knicks ticket I get. Jeez. And I actually get money for
I'm sure you do.
I do. And just bear in mind, the last few years, the Knicks have sucked. So that was actually a win for the Wizards.
As far as the Bulls go, all Bulls fans really say, no matter how much they're struggling, no matter how much they suck or whatever, 95, 96 though.
Yeah, they're haters. They're kind of haters.
That's
like you even
doesn't matter what we're doing right now. Back in my day, we won 72 games.
Yeah, like you ask a Knicks fan or a Bulls fan about like the Golden State Warriors, and then you'll get, but they didn't win a championship though.
Yeah, we're still on.
Oh, yeah, we're back. Yeah,
that was crazy, and that's how we're gonna have to edit that, obviously. But this is gonna live on Facebook. People can like retroactively see that you just got a random phone call.
Yeah. Anyway, so Knicks. How many games do you think Rose, Noah, and probably missing somebody? How many total games do you think they're gonna play? Let's throw Melo in there too.
Do I think they're gonna play all 80 games? No.
Do you think any of those three play over 70 games?
Yeah, I think Melo does. I think Melo is finally going to be happy that he has a competent team around him. It's going to push him to maybe play some of those games he normally would have sat out. Like he missing games like hangnails or whatever he does. But no, I think it'll be a change for him to have competent pieces around him. Now, how long will those competent pieces be around him? 55 games, Greg Lambert says. Yeah. I mean, Rose might miss some games for a different reason.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. He might miss
you know what?
For a different
if he
reason
did it, he should.
Yeah, we're just going to leave that.
We're just going to leave that right there.
We're just going to leave that
right there.
But, you know, the thing is, like, why I'm a little bit higher on the Knicks than I have been previously, they have a contingency plan in case Rose gets hurt. I think Brandon Jennings is going to be a valuable addition to that team. He tore your Wizards up.
He did not tear the Wizards up.
No, he tore your Wizards up.
So, let me just say,
he tore your Wizards up.
No. Having watched that game,
they were chanting Brandon Jennings.
This dude was trying to like intimidate some like 15th man who's not even going to make the roster.
I like Spencer Ware. Though.
I mean, you can like Spencer Ware. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that they had some beef back in Cali. Like, Spencer Ware probably took his girl, and so Brandon Jennings was like, ooh, I just scored on you, even though you're an NBA scrub. And so he's up here clapping his face. Oh, and by the way, the first shot, he didn't even score on him. It wasn't even on Spencer Ware.
Okay.
Just saying, it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, especially, and once again, in combination with what I said before of the Knicks fans just being just irrational dickheads, boom, there it is. Brandon Jennings. Yeah, he's a scrub.
Brandon Jennings,
he's a scrub.
Your brother's right, though.
He's not good.
Your brother's right. Brandon Jennings was great for the Pistons before he got hurt. Before he got hurt, he was putting up some numbers.
So, Achilles.
He's very, yeah.
You need those things.
But he looks to be at least back into his...
Kobe never even came back after an Achilles. I'm sorry, Jerome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And we've gone so far into this Knicks talk that we haven't even talked about Porzingis.
No.
We haven't even talked about how good Porzingis is going to be.
The shining lights.
I mean, he's the unicorn. I don't know if he's going to be like as good as a certain other tall, white guy who takes shots.
That's good.
We're not talking about them today. That's in the Western Conference. I'm going to wear
he be better?
all my garb.
He's actually going to be a better defender.
He's already a better defender.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not tough. That's not tough.
That's not.
He's more athletic. I think he could be more dynamic because he's taller.
Yeah.
I think he'll be better in the post. They really should build this team around Porzingis, but I think
honestly, I'm not sure what timeline Phil Jackson is on. Like,
I would say he's ahead. He's ahead of Porzingis at least.
But I don't really think that makes sense. Like, if I'm constructing that team, And I'm actually okay with the Derrick Rose trade because he's only got 1 year left. But, by the way, Greg says Dirk has no heart. And that's true.
We're just going to ignore that. We're just going to ignore that.
So,
we're not talking about the West today.
We're not. And,
I promise to stay
and Jarrell said that Kobe was 37. There's a difference. But Brandon Jennings is way older than you think.
No, he's not that old.
Dude, he's like
not that old.
Yes, he's in his 30s.
Brandon Jennings is not in his 30s.
Yes, he is.
How much you want to bet? I said we're not going to fact check anything.
I have some floss.
I don't even.
I will give you this thing of floss.
Bro,
Brandon Jennings is not 30.
Brandon Jennings.
I am pretty sure Brandon Jennings is 30.
might not even be 25 yet.
Now you're tripping.
Hold on.
So anyway, as he's looking,
I'm looking this up.
So we said we're fact checking, but we're going to fact check this because obviously Justin likes proving.
Okay, think about this. He came in the league at 09. How old was he in 09? 19, right?
Okay, he's 27.
He's 27!
But he's not 20. He said this dude just said 25.
Oh my god.
So anyway.
25.
Anyway, so fact is, he doesn't have an Achilles. His Achilles no longer exists.
27. Yeah, I'm checking your math.
It says a number, 27.
Right? I know, I'm checking your math, Greg. It's 27.
So anyway, point being, Brandon Jennings, I'm not a believer. Derrick Rose,
okay, admit this.
Derrick Rose was one of the...
Admit this, he's better than Jose Calderon, right?
Oh yeah, he is better than Jose Calderon.
He's going to be inefficient. Yes, we know he's going to be inefficient. He's going to take more off the table than maybe he adds.
I think,
but at the same time, he is a living, breathing point guard.
I'll say
even though he's from Cali, he is kind of like a New York point guard. They love him already.
That doesn't mean anything. They just love him because he's a dick. I'm sorry.
Language.
My bad.
And we're just going to assume that Rose is just going to miss the entire season.
So, I mean, here's the thing. Honestly, Brandon Jennings, despite my antipathy for New York Knicks fans, Brandon Jennings is actually a good backup point guard. Sadly...
He's a low-level starter, too.
Yeah, he's a low-level starter. And the problem is
we haven't even talked about Courtney.
The problem is that Derrick Rose is your starter, and you're trying to run a triangle?
I think, Jeff Hornacek said something to the effect.
He said they're going to try some pick and roll, but, I mean, the fact is Derrick Rose wasn't that great last year. He had some decent numbers, but if you watch any number of Bulls games, then you would see Derrick Rose dribbling with his head down, shooting 20-footers, and missing shots at the rim. And because this dude shot, I think, 41%-ish from the field. And he was one of the worst three-point shooters in the league. Yeah. He was on Rondo levels. They said that he used to take them. And he took a lot more of them than Rondo does. So Derrick Rose is still kind of in his mind he thinks he's MVP Derrick Rose, and he's never adjusted his game. I think when he got hurt, then I think that kind of killed his development, and so he just stayed where he was in terms of his skill level. But now he doesn't have that same level of athleticism, which in the NBA, boom, you need.
In a vacuum, though, you might want to click on there, sorry. But in a vacuum, I think I like the pieces that the Knicks have. They have...
Cherot, you just said Brandon Jennings is a poor man's Iverson. Don't you ever say that again in my presence.
He's not a poor man's Iverson. He is like a destitute...
That is...
can I bum some change? You got any crack?
He's a homeless man.
I
got like...
I'll give you that.
Blood all around my ankles. And like... my feet are burned to crisp, homeless man Iverson. That's what Brandon Jennings is.
Over under 38.5 now. We're like off the rails.
We are.
We're off the rails.
We are.
We're gonna spend like 2 seconds on like the Wizards, right?
Sure.
Anyway.
Honestly, I'd probably go push. After all that,
push.
They're not a bad team. 38.5. So okay, 38.5.
No.
Okay, Noah is already hurt. He's not played any games in the preseason. He's already hurt. Who knows how long Derrick Rose's trial is going to be? By the way, he might get hurt anyway. And the third thing, he's also not that good. And so then also you don't know how many games you're going to get from Carmelo. So
55.
I'm just saying. They have some pieces. They have some talent. They could put it together. They'll go through some streaks where they'll be pretty good. But I find it difficult to think that they're going to be over 500. They'll be close. They'll have some streaks. They'll look good during periods of time, but I don't think they get to 500. All right, so
I'm just making sure we're still recording. Cool. We're 42 minutes into this piece. Actually, I think we just started like talking randomly for a few minutes on Facebook Live, but
we did. So anyway,
all right. So this is Akeem's favorite topic. Ladies and gentlemen,
who's coming out? Who's coming out? It's John Wall. It doesn't really look like John Wall, but seriously, it really is John Wall.
Oh man!
You see, John Wall. Yeah. Say hi.
And yeah, we don't accept call-ins. Maybe try calling Tiff's phone. Do you have Tiff's number? If you have Tiff's number, we can put you on speakerphone, maybe.
Oh well. So anyway,
Yo,
John Wall.
He's gonna keep calling though. That's the thing. What'd he say? Give me the number. He says. He said, Tiff, give me the dishes. Oh God. Oh, we're really going off the wall now.
Washington Wizards.
Yeah, Washington.
I'm going to ask you first, Justin. Line's at 42.5. What do you think? Over or under? Let's just stick here with John.
Now, I will say that I do think that a lot of people aren't giving them enough credit. Yeah, he is. Text him to them. They're not. I don't think they're getting enough love around the league because if you really look at it, what are they? They're only one season removed away from being a 4 seed. Were they a 4 seed that year?
Yeah,
they're a 4 seed, and John Wall got hurt, which is why they lost to the Hawks. Otherwise, I think they would have beat the Hawks that series. They still have a lot of the same pieces. In a lot of ways, I think they're better, especially with Markieff Morris. Otto Porter's better now. Me personally, I think 42.5 probably sounds about right. If you had a gun to my head, I'd probably take the over because they had a lot of things not bounce their way last year, and they were 41 and 41.
Yeah, they're 41 and 41.
He said, "Stop talking about the Wiz without me."
Apparently, somebody must have a guest call to speak about that.
I can't do it because I'm recording on the audio. It's not personally on my end. You're not doing anything on your phone right there, right? Yeah, I would just go ahead and call him. Go ahead and call him.
Alright, so we're going to have a special call-in.
This is like impromptu, super freestyle. This never happens. Apparently, I'm going to get called out on something.
Who is this?
You can't be talking about my Wizards like that, man. Be disrespectful.
How am I being disrespectful? I just said they're a good team. I think they're better than what Vegas is giving them credit for. A lot of people, the perception is.
That team stays healthy. That team's gonna be a top 5 team.
I would agree they could be a top 5 team.
I agree with that also.
Yeah, I mean, look, they had a lot of things not go their way. They were 41 and 41 last year. Could you imagine if they actually got minutes from Beal? If Beal actually played more than 70 games? If Wall and Beal can get over their little beef?
I want y'all to know that.
Okay. See,
Who won All-Star? Who got the All-Star MVP?
Wait, what?
Who got the All-Star MVP?
I was kind of trying to ride with you, Greg, and then you started talking about All-Star MVPs. I'm pretty sure that was Kyrie Irving 2 years ago.
In the Goodman League, though? In the Goodman League? I don't think I remember him winning an NBA All-Star MVP.
Kentucky
might be getting him. Yeah, he might have had a good Midnight Madness game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not disrespectful. You might have got him confused with Kyrie Irving.
Well, look.
How much did he have in the All-Star game, man?
I mean, I think he did have like 18, 19, 20 the year he started.
I had a good game.
He did have a good game. It was because it was basically him and LeBron. There's nobody else. I don't think Kyrie put.
I like John Wall more than I like a lot of other point guards. I just can't say he's the best point guard in the league.
Speaking as a John Wall fan,
He's the most purest point guard we had. He was all defensive team.
Chris Paul might have an issue with that.
Look. He was that 15 player a year. This dude was all American.
In college.
Won the NBA Slam Dunk Contest 14.
That makes him the best.
Tell him the stats, Greg. Tell him the stats.
That makes him the best point guard today, right? Does it?
Sway, you're killing me, Sway. You don't know everything, Sway.
He done got the answers. He done got the answers.
How, Sway? How is that? Never mind. I can't, like, because we got the time limit on.
Look. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this.
Go ahead.
So the Washington Wizards, the line is at 42.5. I'm going to do an absolute over. I think that's a no-brainer. They scored. They had 41. They were 41-41 last year, and that is without Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal played like 52 games.
Yeah.
Nene played about exactly. Nene played about 40 games. Allen Anderson played about 10 games.
Probably hold that was closer to the recording.
That was theoretically supposed to be the backup small forward in Allen Anderson. Otto Porter didn't start actually playing well until January.
You guys didn't know how to use Gary Neal.
Gary Neal was in a locker room pissing people off.
But averaging 10 points a game, though.
But pissing people off. So anyway, the point being is that, and let's not forget Randy Whitman, the Whitman face.
Oh, yeah.
So
you guys are Scott Brooke guys now.
You put all those things together, I'm pretty sure they're going to win more than 2 more games. And not only that, I think that and this is a big if Bradley Beal actually plays 70 games, then the Washington Wizards will be a top 3 seed.
Kelly Oubre,
I like the Kelly Oubre comment, Cherot.
Over. I think they're gonna go over. But I mean, with a gun to my head, I would say they win 44 to 45 games.
So okay, let me just before we before we move on, Justin made some comment about he did feel like he was the best. John Wall was not the best point guard in the league. I'm not going to say he's the best point guard in the league, but where would you say he ranks?
That's a good question. All right, let's go through it.
You got to put him in his argument with the top 5 point guard. Typically, not.
I would say he's a top 5 point guard. Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to because the definition of point guard is so varied now. People do different things, and they're like.
Don't cop out. Don't cop out. I can feel like you're copping out here. But
he is the second purest point guard in the NBA to Chris Paul.
Okay.
As far as who? Who's not a Hall of Famer?
No, he's not even on pace to be a Hall of Famer right
now. Who isn't? John Wall?
No.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Who are you talking about? I'm lost.
John Wall is not on pace to be a Hall of Famer. Look at his numbers.
Greg,
Wait.
What are we doing? Did you just switch?
You killed your entire argument.
Did you just switch?
He's a top 5 point guard. I'll give you that.
But statistically, his numbers do not show it.
Okay, so first of all, you're tripping. I think I don't know where if you.
He's not averaged 20 points in one season. He's only averaged 10.
That doesn't.
Wait a second. Last season he averaged 19.9.
That's basically 20.
He averaged 19.9 and 10.2 assists.
Yeah, okay. And I'm sitting there saying he's only done that for 2 seasons.
He's 25.
You also gotta say he's 25.
He's 25, and his career average for points is like 18.7, and his career average for assists is over 9. How many point guards 5 years into their NBA career have averaged that? I think you gotta pick a side there, son.
All right, I'm gonna pass the question your way. Who do you think the top 5 point guards in the league are?
I think you go Steph. I think that I might actually put Chris Paul over Westbrook.
Huh? What is? Are you kidding me?
Oh,
okay.
When we get to Cleveland, I'll go on my Kyrie rant. I'll go on my Kyrie rant later. But
oh man, I really don't think.
But Kyrie is. We'll just say he's top 10.
I disagree on the Kyrie Irving.
We'll just say he's.
We'll get to Kyrie Irving.
We'll get to Kyrie Irving.
CP3 is the most pure point guard in the NBA.
He is, and that's
John
why
Wall,
he's my number 2.
In terms of being a pure point guard, is probably second. In terms of being a pure point guard.
But so look.
Now, in terms of being
with no qualifications, it's obviously Steph, number one, I'm going to say CP3 over Westbrook. It's close. It's really 2A and 2B. You could switch them. But Chris Paul has way better defense. Number 3 would be whichever one you pick other than whether it's Chris Paul or Westbrook. And number 4, to me, is clear John Wall. In fact, to me, if I would make a closer, I would make a better case for Kyle Lowry to be the fourth best point guard, or be the leader of the second tier over either Damian Lillard or Kyrie Irving.
I'm just mad it took you that long to say Damian Lillard.
Oh, hey, I thought I was saying Dame and ended up being Damian, but
I mean,
either way,
Dame has been to the playoffs every single year since his rookie year.
Yeah, it's easy to do that when you have LaMarcus Aldridge on your team.
He's proven to be a better closer than anybody at the top of that list outside of.
Closing is one aspect of the game.
But it's a big aspect. It's a big aspect.
It's one aspect of the game.
It's a big aspect.
Okay.
How many other guards can get a shot off like Lillard can?
I mean, not too many. There's Steph. You could say Kyrie.
But here's the thing about Lillard.
But Lillard was in a bottom 10% in defense. There are two parts to the game.
Gloss over that.
And by the way, if you've seen both of us play, you'll understand why.
Well, one of us has more of an onus on defense than the other.
Yes. So, anyway, point is...
He pointed to himself, Tiff.
You can just say Justin is the Kyrie Irving of defensive point guards. So anyway...
At least you didn't say Dame Lillard.
That's true.
You could have said Dame Lillard. I almost consider that a compliment. Defensively, Craig. Defensively.
Justin is the Kyrie Irving of defensive point guards.
So you're saying I'm not as bad as Dame Lillard defensively? That's a compliment.
Thank you for proving my point, and that Dame Lillard should not be the top 4 or 5th point.
All right, fine.
Thank you.
I mean, all right. That 5, 4, 5.
Yeah,
6,
it matters.
It's debatable.
Well, I already mentioned Westbrook. All right.
Hey, tune in next week for the Western Conference.
All right, Greg. So we got to go.
All right, Greg. We got
to move on. All right.
Nobody else gets it.
All right.
Okay.
Next up.
Yo, that's crazy.
What, the Charlotte Hornets?
Yeah, Charlotte Hornets, because why not? 42.5.
Honestly, I mean that feels like a push right there. They're the definition of a 500 team.
Do you think it's addition by subtraction without Al Jefferson and Jeremy Lin?
I don't think...
Because, I mean, those minutes are going to go to Frank Kaminsky, and I'm assuming that Jeremy Lin is going to get some extra minutes, too.
Not really. I mean, Al Jefferson didn't play half the year last year. That's how they actually ended up kind of... Yeah. They fell backwards into playing Marvin Williams as like a stretch 4. I
think that's what they should have been. Any team should have been doing that from the jump.
I mean, yes and no. Like, the fact is, Al Jefferson was kind of the person who kind of brought it back to dominance, quote unquote. And let's also not forget that Marvin Williams has sucked his entire NBA career, and so suddenly you have a contract year. Marvin Williams.
He's been a serviceable player his entire career.
Sorry, for the number 3 draft pick.
For being picked ahead of Chris Paul and Darren Williams.
Thanks. He's up for the duration of his NBA
little bit
career.
of a bust there.
So, but anyway, I think that the Lin thing is actually going to hurt most. They did pick up Ramon Sessions. Not saying that is
you got the chance to watch Ramon Sessions.
The fact is, I mean, he's going to duplicate most of what Lin did. He's going to.
Okay, that's a leap.
That's
kind of a leap.
Not. I mean, honestly. Sessions last year was literally the whole Wizards bench. He averaged, I think, 12 points a game. He was somebody who got to the free throw line. His free throw rate was probably, I think, within 90% of the NBA. So he's going to be a good player off the bench for Charlotte. But I mean, otherwise, who else do they have? They have nobody else. Who's there?
Well, they got Kemba. Kemba's a good closer. I mean,
Well,
I think like he's kind of like Dame Light. If you will. He's kind of like Dame Light.
I agree with that.
I mean,
but
with a little bit more effort on the defensive end, I guess.
So here's the biggest question, though. So I look at that team.
Athletic,
Who's their second? Who's their second guy?
Who's
their number 2?
Cody Zeller. Nick Batum. Who am I talking about? Yeah, Nick Batum's our guy.
Nick Batum's good.
He's a good, serviceable, good piece.
Honestly, I don't think that. I think he's really your third option. I don't think he's.
They're going to thrive on a balanced attack. I think they're going to be solid. I think the 42.5 over under is kind of a stay away. I think they probably will be around like 42, 43 wins. I think they're going to make the playoffs.
I think it's with the injuries for Milwaukee and for Detroit. We haven't talked about Detroit yet, but for the injuries with Milwaukee and Detroit, man. I think it leaves those last couple spots open.
Yeah,
I think that Charlotte, they have good coaching.
Mm-hmm.
They have some solid players. They play good defense. They're not bad at any one position. They're just not great at any one position. And
they're not really that exciting. I mean, are you really going to tune in on a rando Thursday TNT night and be, oh my God, I can't believe it, the Hornets are playing Kemba Walker, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, no.
I don't know what that. I just went into a Tommy Heinsohn mode right there.
Wow. Yeah. Everybody doesn't know who that is.
My bad. Celtics announcer.
He's horrible.
He's
if
pretty
you heard
bad.
him, he's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
But anyway, Charlotte, we're not going to spend much time on it because they make me sleepy.
They don't drive that needle.
They make me sleepy.
They don't drive that needle.
I almost fell asleep. I just took a Red Bull.
Yeah, I've been sipping on Mountain Dew and I almost...
So, Atlanta Hawks.
They're a little bit more exciting.
What, 44 and a half? Or 43 and a half?
All right, I got... Yeah, it looks like 43 and a half.
Another weird team.
Weird.
They made 2 big moves.
2 big moves.
They got Dwight Howard, let go Al Horford, traded Jeff Teague.
3 big moves.
Got Dennis Schroeder.
They've had him.
But they've had Dennis Schroeder.
But now, we're going to find out, how good Dennis Schroeder actually is.
Schroeder.
I guess before we touch on, the 43 and a half, how good do you really think he is?
I honestly think that he is a great backup point guard. I think that he's one of those change of pace guards, but I think that they're going to have a problem. The Atlanta Hawks ran a quote-unquote beautiful offense. Spursian, as many people would say. And now, so you have Jeff Teague, who was a very solid, above-average point guard who will come in, make all the right plays, play solid defense, and hit open shots.
But see, Jeff Teague came into the league like that, though, with that kind of reputation as kind of a more dynamic than steady kind of guard.
Yeah, and then he grew into it because he's gotten older and he's grown and matured.
And I think Schroeder can be a more dynamic version of that.
If you look at his hair, you know that he's not going to
There's nothing
steady about Dennis Schroeder. And the fact is this: if you watch him play, he stresses me out. He is more dynamic. I think that he's going to have some bigger games, but I think on a game to game basis, I think it completely messes up their offense. I think that I would not be shocked if he gets more shots a game than Paul Millsap. And Paul Millsap is their best player.
Forget that Paul Millsap is there. I mean, he's another one of those players that really doesn't drive the needle, but he does the right things. He's very efficient. Pairing him next to Dwight Howard could be pretty cool. If Dwight Howard brings 80% of what he could have been.
So Dwight Howard, overrated, underrated?
I think he's been given that overrated label so much that he's almost become underrated. I would have, if you would have told me that the Mavs would have signed Dwight Howard for, I don't know, given this market 15,
we'll just say $20 million, which is what he signed for.
15 mil,
already,
14 mil. I would have been happy with that.
Right.
Because, I think that would, it doesn't really
So
get
is
us
he
anywhere.
overrated or underrated? I'm talking around.
I'm talking around a little bit, but I think he is more underrated at this point than he is overrated.
So I'm inclined to agree. At this point, I think that because of Dwight Howard's Lakers years, and his little stint with James Harden. I think that people massively underrate where he is at still defensively. Not saying he is great. He's not where he was.
No,
but
I think his back. I think that.
Yeah, I think the back kind of messed him up. But at the end of the day, the Rockets were still way better on the defensive end of the floor with Dwight Howard playing than they were without. And he's still going to get you 15 and 10. Yeah. It's not the same as how you should get you 20 and 10, but it's still going to get you 15 and 10.
You see him shooting threes this offseason?
I don't know why they show videos of that. I mean...
Dwight.
It doesn't mean anything. I think I'm pretty sure if Coach Bud saw Dwight Howard shooting a three in the middle of a game, he probably would go run on the court and just choke him out.
It's okay. They've got Mike Muscala do that. They don't even do that.
They do. And Mike Muscala... By the way, let me just mention that if you're watching Atlanta Hawks in a stadium and you see Mike Muscala shooting, then you honestly think it's Kyle Korver. And I'm not saying that because they're both white. I'm saying because they actually look the same if you're 1,000 feet away.
Yeah, if you're 1,000 feet away.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Hawks over that 43.5. I think they're a little bit undervalued.
Honestly, if I liked Dennis Schroeder more, then I'd put them at about 48 wins. But they ran such a pinpoint offense that was so predicated on movement and passing the ball. I don't know how you get a shoot first point guard out there, and then you have a guy like Dwight Howard whose game is pick and roll, not pick and pop. I don't know what their offense is going to be.
I think there's hope because Jeff Teague kind of came in the league the same way. Could this be like a growing pains year for him? Maybe.
But Jeff Teague didn't come into the league with this system.
Jeff Teague played a lot of two. Jeff Teague played a lot of two.
He didn't come into the league with this system.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the thing. By the time they started this system,
on the fly.
By the time they came into the system, he was already like 26, 27. Do we have a question?
What are you talking about? That makes no sense. Well, for one thing, the Vegas Raiders, the soon-to-be Vegas Raiders, are lighting the world on fire. They're about to go 5-1 after they beat the Chiefs today. And Terrell Pryor as a QB.
He's actually on my fantasy team.
He's on your fantasy team as a wide receiver, and he's proven to be a pretty good pickup. But we're not here to talk about football.
And I agree, bro. Best ability is availability.
The best ability is availability.
Speaking
what
of
is that referring to?
It doesn't matter because
it's so profound.
It's profound. It could go with, let's say,
profound.
The Knicks. Let's see. It could go. I love digging my Knicks, but the Knicks.
He could even be talking about the girl like down the hall from him. The best ability is availability. I agree.
We're gonna put that up.
I'm gonna get a tattoo of that.
So anyway, next team, Pacers. So, first question: is Paul George the second best player in the East?
Should have done my homework on that a little bit, but
okay, I'll give you a couple options. The only other people in question, you could say Kyle Lowry.
Because obviously we know who the best player is in the East.
Yeah, I think we could assume that it's John Wall.
Brandon Jennings.
Wait, what? Anyway, so Kyle Lowry.
No.
Some might say throw out Kyrie Irving. I would. Kyle Lowry, Kyrie Irving, John Wall. Paul Millsap, Al Horford,
Carmelo.
No.
I guess
Sorry.
So, you think Millsap... that's a whole other thing. You think Millsap's more valuable probably than Anthony? Sure.
Yeah.
Alright. No, I think by default then Paul George probably would be the second best player in the East. Depending upon LeBron's motor, you could see Paul George play at an MVP level this year.
Yeah.
He'd be a nice sleeper pick.
You can make the case that in those playoff series that Paul George played LeBron to about a tie.
Joel, we said in the Eastern Conference, not in the league. I don't think we're like...
In the Eastern Conference.
We're not that high
yet. Come on.
Yet.
Paul George is better than Russell Westbrook. Ooh, hot take. No. Okay.
Paul
Never
George
mind.
could be better than Russell West. That's not a bad hot take.
It's not
That's
bad.
not a bad hot take, but we won't go into it.
That's just,
I think Paul George is the second best player in the East. And I think adding Jeff Teague, adding Al Jefferson, those are good ads.
But so
I think those are good ads.
So I don't think they're bad ads, but so here's the thing. They added Al Jefferson, who's going to come off the bench for them.
Yeah, it's a good bet.
He's also
good solid,
he's also old and
Older.
plays zero. No, he's old.
Older. I mean, he's over 30.
He's been in the league. I know, but he's been hurt the last 2 years. There's a reason.
Punch it down low.
There's a reason.
Buckets.
There's a reason why Charlotte didn't keep him. So
because they like Frank Kaminsky, yeah.
Yeah, so that makes. If you could pick Frank Kaminsky over Al Jefferson in his prime,
I like
Frank.
I like Frank.
So, yeah, you in the state of Wisconsin.
Who would win the foot race, Frank Kaminsky or Al Jefferson?
Frank Kaminsky. So, easily, he would burn him.
That's kind of sad.
He would burn him.
But at the same time, I mean, you don't.
As a former speed coach, Al Jefferson, when he runs, it hurts my soul.
But you don't.
His knees are buckling on every single step.
It's not like you need Al Jefferson to jump over people.
No, that's not the thing.
You throw him in there for 20 minutes.
I guess my point is this not just overrate his impact.
Okay, and also Miles Turner, you can assume that Miles Turner is going to take another step forward.
So Miles Turner is going to take another step forward. I guess my point is it's not necessarily about the rest of the team, but I think that if you take George Hill was honestly a little bit underrated.
Yeah,
George Hill versus Jeff Teague.
I think I'd rather have Teague.
I think I would rather have Teague because he's a little more dynamic.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Teague.
I mean, if you look at the totality of who they are, George Hill was probably defensively a top 5 point guard. So I just don't, and I think he was a decent offensive player. He was a good offensive player.
Shots, yeah.
He hit open shots.
He didn't turn the ball over.
And honestly, when you watched Indiana play, he was really their second or third creator. Especially because Monte Ellis was not good last year.
Could you just, kind of piggyback, I think Monte Ellis has kind of a little bit of a bounce back here. But can you imagine staying in front of Teague and Ellis this year? That's going to be tough.
That is going to be tough.
That's going to be tough. That's a quick backcourt.
But who are they going to guard, though?
And that's why zone is legal.
Paul George can't guard everybody.
Paul George. I'll put it like this. If Paul George gets them to 50 wins, you can make
50 wins?
You could
make
it.
Dude. They had, 44 last year? They're going to take a 6 win jump?
Just think about it.
Jeff Teague is not 6 wins better than George Hill. Al Jefferson is not going to get you 6 wins.
It's that word.
What moves have they made?
Totality.
What moves have they made that would say they're 6 wins better than they were?
It's not the moves as much as the organic growth of Turner. You assume that George is still going to be there. You can assume that Monte Ellis is going to have a better year.
I don't know if we can really
Joe Young, solid backup point guard.
This dude just said Joe Young.
I like Joe Young. I am higher on the Pacers than I am
Joe Young
than you. Obviously.
He's going to have a 6 win.
A little bit higher than you. on the Pacers.
I'm not saying that I hate the Pacers, but I feel like it in comparison to you. I'm just saying. I think
across as a hater because I like the Pacers.
Am I a hater? Honestly,
I'm not saying you're a hater. You're just coming across as one. Who's better, the Pacers or the Wizards?
I think that
I heard that too.
I think that the Wizards will end up with a better record. I think they have more talent on their team. I think the last couple of years the Pacers had much better coaching. But you're not gonna line those two teams up and say that the Wizards don't have an advantage in 4 out of the 5 starting spots.
It's a one big drop though. That 3 spot.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry. What?
Okay, so
Otto Porter is clearly the best.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm saying
in the Eastern Conference. That's what you just said.
No, I'm not saying. No, that's okay. So Colin Coward. So we're gonna have those kind of hot take arguments now, huh? No, I'm saying that if you line those two lineups up, then obviously Gortat is definitely better than Turner. Or will Turner even start at the 5? Who's starting at the 5? Because by the way, the Wizards have their former starting center as their backup. So, Gortat's obviously started better than, we'll just say, unknown person starting 5. I would still take Markieff Morris over Turner. Obviously, George is going to be better than Otto. But, there's no doubt that I would take Bradley Beal over Mate. Okay. And John Wall is obviously better than Jeff Teague.
So I guess to answer your question, yes, the Wizards are going to be better than the Pacers?
Yes. Thanks.
I don't know. It's going to be hard with Beal playing 50 games this year. But anyway.
It'll be hard with Monte Ellis playing 82 games and shooting 39%. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. I can't read. I can't read. Pistons, 44.5.
I'm going to go under. I think he finished at 42.
It's going to be, this might be pretty quick. Under. No, it's mainly because of Reggie Jackson. He's supposed to miss like a month, but that's a valuable amount of time for a team that's going to be fighting for around that 8th spot.
Mm-hmm.
You can make the case that the other guys can hold it together without him. They do have Ish Smith. Yeah, I kind of like Ish Smith.
He's cool.
You're not the biggest Andre Drummond fan.
Yeah, honestly, it's not really that I'm not an Andre Drummond fan. I actually think that he's a good, young, potential center. But, one, you can't shoot 35% from the free throw line.
He's kind of entering that Dwight Howard category where he's not really getting better.
Yeah.
He's kind of like...
He's robotic on offensive end. And honestly, he has worse moves than Dwight Howard did. Dwight Howard was robotic, but remember, the dude did actually average over 20 a game.
He worked with Olajuwon.
That doesn't mean anything, but he did. But my point is, he did average over 20 points a game, even if it was on lobs and dives to the basket.
Ezekiel Elliott's about to go in the end zone, I think.
You must say it because you haven't known yet.
No, it's Cole Beasley.
So
touchdown.
Anyway, point is that the Detroit Pistons, Reggie Jackson's hurt. I think even if Reggie Jackson is, I'm going to say a top 10 point guard, but debatably. You
say you won't? Yeah,
I'm going to say he's a top 10 point guard.
He's right there.
But I think that because of what the Detroit Pistons are, they rely so much on pick and roll between Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond. And you now are without the person who actually is handling the ball.
But I think Ish Smith, to his credit, I think is going to be a pretty good facilitator. I think he'll be able to run that.
But he's
you're not going to honor the jump shot version of the pick and roll.
But he's a much worse offensive player though.
Oh yeah,
he's much worse. Like Reggie Jackson was averaging over 18 a game.
Yeah, you're not going to get that.
Ish Smith basically had the ball 100% of the time for the Philadelphia 76ers. You can't average over 15 for the Philadelphia 76ers.
That's never been his game, though. He's always been more of a facilitator, Yeah,
it is what it is. I actually think that he's fine as a backup, but if he's your starter, then you're not going to get to the 45 wins.
Shameless plug. My Pistons player that I'm doing for my previews, my ongoing player previews, which I'm kind of behind on. Working on it. Anyway, my pick was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I like him.
Oh, I like him too.
I like him. Yeah, he's a nice, solid 2 guard who actually could take that next step and keep them afloat a little bit.
He can shoot a little bit. I like his game.
I
don't think he really has much off the bounce game to.
He could create separation.
Really,
he could create separation.
Here's what I think would end up being the same race. Now, KCP is cool, but Tobias Harris. I
forgot about Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris is the one who, if they end up staying afloat, he's the one who took the step.
And he's shown that he can. Yeah, that's the thing.
He was the Orlando Magic's best player last year when he was with the team. Now, granted, I don't know what it says about him if the Orlando Magic traded your quote-unquote best player, but whatever. We'll just pretend that Stan Van Gundy can kind of work out whatever kinks that he had.
And then Stanley Johnson, too. I'm not a huge Stanley Johnson fan, but I think he brings some good stuff to the table.
He talked trash to LeBron.
Yeah, you gotta respect that. You gotta respect the cojones.
Do you? And then
a little bit.
Not if you get your work off of it. So anyway, moving on. Raptors.
50.5. Tough one.
Do you know what their record was? They had 56 wins last year.
So they're talking about a 6-win drop.
Yeah, 6-win
drop. Did the East really get that much better?
I mean, I don't think that's the question. I think the question is, were they really a 56-win team last year?
You could look at it from both perspectives. I think that for the sake of the over-under, I would go over.
I think about 50 wins is right. Because I think they are closer to where they were 2 years ago when they won 49 games. Which is still okay. But 56 wins is a lot of wins.
You get contract year Kyle Lowry. And Kyle Lowry plays with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder as it is. And he's already going to have a chip on his shoulder because of how he played in last year's playoffs.
So Kyle Lowry is 30 or 31 years old. I think that's got to be the career year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to get significantly worse, but that's got to be the career year.
I don't think DeRozan's going to be that much better than he was last year.
I think that's probably their peak. I don't know if they collectively could get better.
Also, I think you're going to get a healthier DeMar Carroll back. Now, he's not superstar or anything, but he kind of puts people back in like their right spot. You could see him as a small ball 4 during crunch time.
Well, I think that's the thing that they need. I think they need to. There's a couple spots that they have that they need to fill out. Like, they need, if Terrence Ross, for instance, could ever blossom into something, then suddenly
he's so teasing.
Yeah, suddenly you could get you could throw him at the 2 or throw him at the 3, then move DeMar Carroll at the 4, and suddenly you have a very legit small ball 4, and you have Valanciunas at the 5 who can score, and now you're working with something. But I mean, right now I think they're starting Patrick Patterson at the 4.
I love Patrick.
I'm not even sure who they're starting.
He's the prototype stretch 4.
Yeah.
He literally doesn't do anything but stretch.
Yeah, and by that, just do lots of hamstring stretches.
Yeah, lots of hamstring stretches. We're talking to you, Chris Middleton.
I think that actually the loss of Biyombo is going to hurt them.
Yeah,
he was murdering fools in the playoffs.
He was. He got paid. It's why he got paid. That's actually a good reason why they might slip under. I'm still trending more towards the. They can't really see what I'm doing with my hands, but I'm juggling.
In the Donald Trump way?
No, that's more of a grabbing. It's more of a grabbing. I want to stay employed, so I'm going to stay away from that. I'm going to go. Well, I would say over. I would say over on that 50.5. Slightly, but I would say.
I would just stay away.
Yeah, it's probably stay away.
I would just stay away.
Speaking of stayaways, Celtics 52.5.
I would absolutely stay away from that. I mean, the biggest question to ask with that is, so the Celtics last year, I think, won like 48 games, 48 games, and their line is 52.5. So is Al Horford 5 games better? Is he second best team in the NBA Eastern Conference better?
I would say that almost by default they could be, because I mean, do the Raptors really scare you? I mean, the Raptors and Celtics are going to be right there for 1 and 2. I mean, 2 and 3. Sorry, we know who's going to be number 1. But I think Al Horford could potentially take that team to the next level because he gives them a viable option down low. There's nothing against Kelly Olynyk, but I mean, do you really spend time truly game planning for Kelly Olynyk? I'm sure you do, but not to the same effect that you would with Al Horford.
You don't.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a big reason why they could make a decent jump. Now, 52.5 to like say over would make them like 53, 54. Do they make a 54-win jump? That's kind of hard to say because you have to also look. They got Jaylen Brown. Is he going to have any impact?
I don't even know if he plays.
I haven't. You see, this is the thing. I don't spend a lot of time watching preseason basketball. I'll tell you a story about the time that I took preseason basketball to full heart. Remember Darius Miles?
I do.
Darius Miles. Yeah, he had a killer preseason. I think he averaged something like
30-10-5 with like 2 blocks in 1 preseason. We're not fact checking. Please don't fact check that. But that's probably wrong. But it felt like it.
He also won $1 million.
And it affected me to the point where this is the last time I think I really played fantasy basketball. I took him in the 2nd round.
Jeez.
I reached because I said, look, he's going to be playing for a really bad team. He's going to put up numbers. This is Darius Miles. I think he averaged like 10 points a game that year. This is why I don't watch preseason basketball as much as I probably should.
Either that or he liked the headband. You really just were overcome
he got to the point where like
his headband. And
he was unsignable.
Wow.
And again, maybe hanging out with Ricky Davis had something to do with that too, but hey.
We don't know what they were doing.
But jumping way off the rails here. Celtics.
So, do you think Celtics are the 2nd best team in the East Conference?
2nd or 3rd. I mean, they're gonna that series with the Raptors in the 2nd round theoretically. It's probably gonna go 7 games.
I think at this point you can say yes.
I would probably venture to say yes. They're a little bit more versatile. They have a little bit more ways to attack you than the Raptors do. The Raptors pounded into the shot clock. They end up isoing with Lowry or DeRozan. It's very predictable. The Celtics, they defend. They defend very well.
They do.
And their offense is less predictable. There's more action. And I think Brad Stevens is a better coach.
Here's the problem. I think that in the regular season, the Celtics are they have a chance to end up as the 2nd best team in the Eastern Conference record-wise. But I think in the playoffs, I think that Isaiah Thomas they're going to do him like the Cavs did Steph Curry in the finals. So if you're Toronto, if you're the Wizards, if you're, let's say, the Hawks, I think that you basically just throw Isaiah Thomas in the pick and roll after pick and roll, and you just murder the dude.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to guard on the other end.
I think they just, and I don't think that in a best of 7 series, I don't think they can win in the 2nd round. And I don't see they lost in the 1st round this year, right? They lost
the
to
1st round in
Miami.
7 to the Hawks.
Was it
7? It was either 6 or 7.
I don't even think it was 7. Or maybe
it was.
But either way,
case,
it wasn't. Yeah, to an unimpressive Hawks team. So,
but you figure you went 6 and you added Al Horford. Al Horford does make a difference on both ends.
No, I
think having Al Horford will take some pressure off Isaiah.
I think Al Horford is a really good player, but at the end of the day, he is an A-type supplementary player. He just isn't. He's not a dynamic enough offensive threat that he's going to lead you to the Eastern Conference Finals. I might be wrong. I think that he's a great player, but I just don't. When it comes down to last couple minutes and you need a stop or you need a bucket, maybe you say, here, Isaiah Thomas, go ahead. But then he gets doubled. He can't see over what looks like 2 trees, but they're really only 6 feet tall because he's 4'10", and he's not able to make a move or make a pass. And by the way, I also don't think he's even a very good passing point guard either, which he's not. I would not say he is.
I'm not going to say he's a bad passer, but he's definitely a shoot.
I would say Al Horford is a better passer than
he's definitely a shoot first point guard.
Yeah, so
that I wish the Mavericks would have taken with the last pick of the draft.
Well, yeah, I mean, 30 teams passed twice.
Yeah, and the Kings. They picked Jibber for that over him. Oh my god.
The Kings, DeMarcus Cousins didn't like him. Boogie didn't like him.
Otherwise, he would have been a nice touch. So, this is going to sound weird, but let's talk about the defending NBA champion Cleveland Cavaliers. It just sounds like
you've been waiting.
Ridiculous. It just sounds so ridiculous that the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead against them, aided by some.
Why would it sound ridiculous?
Aided by some.
I can tell you because Golden State was obviously the better team.
Golden State was the better team,
but
that doesn't win it. They had the best player in the series. You can even make the argument they had the best 2 players in that particular series. In that particular series.
In a couple games.
In a couple ridiculous games.
It was just a couple ridiculous games.
Oh my god! Like Irving wasn't missing anything.
Like
in game, was it game 6?
Yeah,
it's game 6.
It was game 6. So, but so that's my point. So, and it's not even to really go back to the Celtics, but that's what the Cavs did. The Cavs, if you watch that series by I guess about game 4, basically they just played pick and roll basketball until Steph Curry was guarding either LeBron or he was guarding Kyrie, and then they just went at him. And literally every single person who was guarding I think Iman Shumpert tried to take Steph Curry off the dribble.
Steph is a very much improved defender, I think.
He is.
Through the start of his career. I think he's gotten so much flack defensively that he's almost become... He is an underrated defender.
He's a good team defender.
I think he's to the point where he's almost... I'm waiting for like the comments to blow up here, but I think he's a plus defender on most nights.
He is a plus team defender in the regular season.
Yeah. But the Cavs did a good job of exploiting him in the finals.
At the end of the day, LeBron is like Neo.
And LeBron...
Not the one who sung Sexy Love, but The Matrix.
Which one? The first one, where he realized his true potential? Or the third one where he saved the world?
Technically, the one who saved the world.
I think he was more...
Down that 3-1 deficit, he saved the world.
He was more Matrix 3 Neo in the finals. Almost sacrificing himself.
That's deep. Very deep.
Yeah, something like that.
So anyway...
but what are we talking about here?
So, quick question about Kyrie Irving. Who would you take? Kyrie Irving, Dame Lillard?
That's a much tougher question to ask after the finals happened. Because originally, I would have came into this and said, Dame Lillard, far and away, better closer. Kyrie's a much better ball handler. But then you really think about it, Kyrie is probably a better defender. Kyrie has to do what he does with LeBron James on his team.
I don't think that's a good caveat with LeBron James. I'm pretty sure LeBron makes every person in the NBA better.
That's true, but he still.
In fact, LeBron.
Having James allowed Irving to kind of do what he does.
Oh, that's my point. Exactly. Yeah.
I guess to answer your question, I guess I would take Irving from a skill standpoint. I guess. But you gotta think about it, like Lillard, Irving had a chance to have a team by himself.
He did.
He was young, but he had a chance to have a team by himself.
He did.
Those teams could win more than 30 games. Lillard had a team.
I don't think they won more than 27 games.
So you gave Lillard pretty much the keys to the kingdom last year after getting rid of LaMarcus Aldridge.
They did.
Everybody thought they were going to fall off the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. 5 seed in the West.
Yeah.
I think that speaks a lot to the
ability and leadership
value and leadership of Damian Lillard. I think I like Damian Lillard's intangibles more. I like Kyrie Irving's basketball skills more.
I can agree with that. I think Lillard is a better shooter. He has more range. I think generally he's the better player, but Kyrie Irving has the highest potential.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Kyrie Irving... He's literally in a perfect position because LeBron James will only give him the ball and allow him to make substantive basketball plays. But anytime LeBron is out, when Kyrie Irving is running the point by himself.
I remember that game without LeBron where he scored like 33 and they won, but all of his teammates were pissed at him.
Exactly. He had like 1 assist.
You would never hear that about Dame.
You would never hear that about Dame. I think there was one game last year. I think it was maybe like a 4-game stretch where it was just Kyrie and Kevin Love were the A and B, and they got blown out or beat badly like 3 out of 4 games. And it's because Kyrie Irving is, at the end of the day, I don't think he truly understands the point guard spot. I think that he's got a great handle.
Oh, yeah.
He can shoot off the dribble.
Best ball handle in the league, probably.
One of the best under-the-rim finishers in the
league.
He's a great finisher. Probably the best under-the-rim finisher. But he doesn't... for some reason, he hasn't coalesced those skills
He can't
into
capture that lightning in the bottle.
true,
And,
like
be,
tangible,
consistent.
great basketball. I
Right.
would not put him skill wise. I mean, he's up there on the top tier, but I think he falls below the Wall, Lowry, Dame Lillard tier out of the top ranked point guards. I think every time I see Kyrie Irving play, every other time down the court, he makes plays that are, I call it masturbatory basketball. So that meaning when he dribbles,
you couldn't see this part.
Meaning when he gets the ball and he sees the defender in front of him, even if he has a step, even if he's wide open, he feels the need to take a dribble and cross somebody up just so he just does something awesome. He's basically jacking off every time he gets the ball so he can feel great. And who doesn't like feeling great?
It makes for solid entertainment, though.
It does. And who doesn't like the Uncle Drew commercials?
Oh yeah, I love Uncle Drew. I'm waiting for the next one to drop.
But honestly, he's a worse passing Stephon Marbury.
Better shooter though.
He better shooter.
That's a big thing.
Better shooter.
All right, so LeBron wins an MVP this year. What do you think?
Let's see. Steph and KD split the vote most likely. I think
Who's the favorite? Russell?
Russell's probably the favorite, but the more I look at the Thunder, I don't know if they even win 50 wins.
We'll talk about that more.
We'll talk about that more. So
course, yeah.
I think that especially if the Thunder aren't that good, I think LeBron, he just wins out just because even at 75%, he's going to average 25 and 7.
Yeah. If not more.
I think that the other competition is probably James Harden.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But are Russell Westbrook and James Harden really going to win enough? Paul George, because I'm high on the Pacers, he could be.
Paul George better than Westbrook.
Again, that's a hot take. It might be closer to the truth than you think, but it is what it is. All right, so
Eastern Conference Finals. So your two teams.
All right, so man, that goes back to that Raptors Celtics thing. Obviously, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be there. Let's just pen it in right now, like with not the erasable pen. You get a feather and you quill. Write it in. Cavaliers.
Feather in my quill.
Feather and a quill.
Okay.
Now the other team's kind of difficult, but if I had to choose one today,
I'm really struggling with this.
It should just be easier. I mean, I think the Raptors. I think the Raptors. I don't feel 100% confident about it, but I think.
You don't feel confident about it because they were easily the most underwhelming second seed last year. I mean, they won 56 games, but having watched
they had that series tied. They had that series tied, even though I think that was an Adam Silver call. Adam Silver said, "LeBron, dude, make it a little bit more interesting."
Yeah, that was just bad, but I think that obviously the Cavs, and I'm going to say it right here. As I start doing the John Wall.
Are you serious?
As I start doing the John Wall.
Are you
what?
serious?
Do I see the Washington Wizards as the other person in the Eastern Conference Finals?
I won't believe it until Bradley Beal plays more than 50 games. If he plays 50 games, it might be a conversation worth having.
The fact is that I don't have confidence in either the Celtics or the Raptors. I think both are eminently beatable. And like I mentioned, in a 7-game series, I don't think the Celtics are going to could beat the Raptors, the Wizards, and possibly even the Hawks. I think they're just right for an upset. And I think the Raptors, they just are just very beatable. And so when I find 2 or 3 other very beatable teams, I just go for the second best player.
So there's...
In the Eastern Conference.
Okay, that was whatever. There's a little bit of a problem there. Obviously, Cavs, Raptors, Celtics... You guys basically have to stay out of the 4 and 5 spots in order for that finals to happen.
It's true.
They have to massively not underachieve, but they have to finish the 6th, then catch the Raptors or the Celtics.
Or they get to 50 wins and end up on the 2nd or 3 seed.
The Raptors and the Celtics, they have to catch them kind of sleeping. The only real shot is like you said, get them
win 2 or 3
win 50 games, get to 2 or 3 seed. It's not impossible.
Is it probable?
It's not impossible.
It's not possible. I wouldn't take the over on.
So I would not take
I would
the
not take
Kings.
that.
I'm sorry, Big Hawks. Advice on this one in terms of picking.
I wouldn't bet it. I wouldn't bet.
I wouldn't bet anything because gambling's not legal anyway.
No, not at all. Except for those of you guys in Las Vegas.
Hey.
I'm talking to you.
Hey. Greg got a nice little statement there. which you could see if you view this retroactively. And
all right, so I think that's about it. Obviously, we're probably both going to pick the Cavs to go to the finals.
Yeah, let's just go out. Let's book it right now. Cavs
yeah, we
in the
can
finals.
book that right now.
Now, who are they playing? Find out next week when we talk about the Western Conference.
All right, see you guys then.
Peace. All right, now I gotta shut the audio off. You could keep that running for a minute just to